So apparently that 70s show got a remake on Netflix. Why? I don't fucking know. The 2000s hit show apparently needed a remake just like everything else that needs a remake nowadays. And I just got through finished watching it and I kind of like it a little bit. Now is it the best thing that I've ever seen in my life? Fuck no. But it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought this shit would be absolutely fucking lame as hell. And it has some good things about it, and it obviously has some bad things about it, and some cringy shit in there. It's definitely some cringy shit. But for the most part, it was a decent watch. 10 episodes, nothing too long, nothing too over the top. They don't try to do nothing extra with it. It's a decent watch. The characters are what kind of drew me out of it at sometimes. And that mainly was my main gripe with that 90s show, is that the characters didn't necessarily feel like they went together well. Because if you remember in that 70s show, whenever you watched it, it really felt like Kelso, Eric, and Donna, and Fez, and Hyde were actually friends in real life. You could feel the chemistry between them, and it never really felt like it was forced or never felt like they were trying too hard to seem like they were friends. And I don't know if that's me looking too into it because, they did, technically just meet that summer, but it kind of was missing that aspect of we actually seem like we're friends in real life and not just, oh, we're friends just because we're on a show and we don't really have any chemistry. Because in that 70s show, that natural chemistry between each other kind of brought out more of the funny moments that we remember that 70s show from. Instead of just kind of like looking for stuff to be funny, they just said stuff and it was funny. They didn't really have to try hard to make their jokes work, it just worked. But let's just kind of get into the stuff that I did like and the stuff that I didn't like, so I won't just be rambling on for 5-10 minutes. The theme song is trash. It's not good. It's nowhere near the original theme song. Like, I get it, it's the same song, but it don't fit. It's not good. I don't like it. If there is gonna be more of this, which I don't really want it to be, this kind of was just like need to be like a good short series. But like, if there is more of that 90s show, they need to change the theme song because it just doesn't work. I get they were trying to go for like a 90s like punk rock kind of thing, but that shit doesn't work at all. It don't fit the show. And this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if they just need to like kind of like the actors need to get more used to each other or something, but like the chemistry between the characters just didn't really seem like it was there a lot of the times. It kind of seemed like they were kind of like looking for stuff to be funny instead of just like being funny and not having to try so hard. Like, and I don't know if this is just because it's the first season and like they're still getting used to each other or what, but like it just didn't really seem like they gelled together. I don't know if they need to like add somebody else or like they need to like use more settings in the show or whatever. If there is gonna be more seasons of that 90s show, but they need to do something to kind of like get rid of them trying so hard for jokes to work. Now let's get into the things that I did like, because there were a lot of things that I did like. I did like how they didn't rely on cameos from the old cast so much. Like we only saw Eric like once or twice. The same with Donna. We only saw Kelso and Jackie like once. Now the person we did see the most was Fez, but he wasn't in like entire episodes, which kind of like took away from the new cast that they were trying to promote. So I did like that they didn't rely on cameos so much and actually let the new cast actually like have some shine and let it be about them. One of the other things that I did like that's kind of a small thing, but something that I really appreciated is that they didn't try to do like a lot of like cheesy like 90s jokes, like do like a bunch of references from the 90s. I like how they just, like, okay, the 90s, like it's the time period we're in, but we're not gonna reference it every 3 seconds and make it only about, them living in the 90s. But overall, I think that 90s show was a decent watch. Like, obviously, it's not the best shit that I've ever seen, and I don't really think it was meant to be that. But I think it was a good show for them to, kind of like, have a little sequel with. I do hope that this was just like a one season spinoff thing that they do. This doesn't need more seasons because I don't really think that would be good for the show. I think it would kind of just like make the show way more repetitive than it needs to be because that 70s show doesn't need a sequel anyways. They tried with that 80s show in like 2002 and that shit didn't work out either. But this was decent. Wasn't the best thing I'd never seen, wasn't the worst thing, but it was okay.